Let's talk about this bridge. Let's talk a little bit more about this bridge of incidents that everyone kind of gets caught up on. Let's talk about it. We're going to really break it down. I literally made a chart for you and we're going to get right into it because I'm a visual learner, and if you're a visual learner, you will definitely appreciate this video. So welcome back to my channel, you guys. My name is Autumn, and this is pretty much a part 2 to my last video that we did yesterday. What we were talking about was a comment from one of my subscribers who dropped a comment, and she definitely asked about the bridge of incidents, if we can control it and all this stuff. And I'm going to get into this bridge of incidents, and by the end of this video you will understand that your whole life is one big ass bridge. From the time of your birth all the way to your death is one big ass bridge with so many detours, and we're gonna get right into this video. So, like I talked about in my last video, when you decide to change your perspective, that means that you change yourself as a person. It's what some people like to call self-concept. It is what some people like to refer to as, various many different titles for this, but it's all about switching your perspective, and that in itself changes your experience. So when we talk about the bridge of incidents, a lot of people like to think that it's some magical bridge that when you decide that you're going to manifest, let's say, a specific person or money or a career change or even looks change, that there's some sort of bridge that you're supposed to look out for to get on to take you to your manifestation. But no, the bridge is always happening. The bridge of your life is always happening, always playing out. You never really notice because you are always on the bridge. And when you change your perspective from whatever dynamic you are on to whatever new dynamic you're getting on, then or staying in or living in or residing in inwardly, then a series of events are always going to play out to get you there, and it's always going to take the path of least resistance. So a lot of people mainly have trouble accepting that their life is mainly on a bridge because they think that it may come with some pain and some loss and all these things, and we're too tied to our emotions in that sense. But like I said, if you are dwelling in a place inwardly as if it's already being so, you will be completely indifferent to life's circumstances as the 3D circumstances as they play out. Those things will bother you less and less and less, and thus it neutralizes. In some cases, they disappear. Those things that really used to aggravate you will disappear while you're on the bridge. And it's something that you won't even notice because you're going to be so immersed in your ideal reality. All right. So I actually made this chart for you guys. I'm going to actually see, let me sit back to see if you guys can see this chart here. But I remember I made a video about I think it was close to 2 years now. It's my second video on this channel, I believe, but it's kind of something similar to this chart here, but I'm actually going to talk about the bridge of incidents here. Okay, I had to get a different marker for my blue star here. So let's talk about the bridge of incidents and what it really means in order for you to assume the position. I'll link the video up above where I talk about assuming the position. And if you go and watch this video after this video, that video after this video, I think you'll understand it a little bit more when I talk about what it truly means to assume the position or to live from the position of already being, doing, and having whatever it is that you want, okay? So in my other video where I talked about getting to know yourself and how your reality is an experience of you really truly learning who you are, and that is source. That is being a part of source, that you yourself are I am, and that you are one with source. And it's when we feel like we are not a part of source, or on this quest to become more than what we already are, or feeling like we have to be more than who we currently are, or have to change something of ourselves, where we go on this quest to feel like we have to be get connected back to source in order to get our manifestations. But when you realize that you are the all and that you are one with the all, this will be a pretty easy jump to get into the state of being and having whatever it is you want. All right. So I'm going to use an example here. Let's just say that I want to manifest more subscribers, which this is very much true for me. I would like to manifest subscribers that really are into having conversations and topics about manifestation in the way that I like to have. And so I already am living in that reality, right? And so what does that look like? So this is me here in an old state with this old purple star here. So that is my state previously, where I have definitely decided I don't think I like this anymore. I think that I want to manifest more subscribers and more clients and whatever it is, right? So I want to be already in that state. So like I said, this is me having to go into the state of already being the person that has the more subscribers or whatever the number that I have in my head. I need to go and be that person. So, what does that mean? I'm going to hop over here, which is my star player here. So, the little star is the star player or your inner compass. So when after I do my imaginal scene and I can think about how I would like for that experience to be for me, living in the reality every day of someone who already is that person who has a certain amount of subscribers and really love what I do on YouTube and having people engage with me and with my content. So I start being that person. Every time I'm making a video, doesn't matter what the views say, doesn't matter what my channel looks like now, I'm not trying to figure out a way to get there. I am going to being there. So what does that look like? That means me making more content. That means me not caring about what's happening on the outside. That means me actually just making content and loving and assuming that whoever comes across my content loves my videos, and I focus on the subscribers that I already have and the people that really enjoy and watch my content. I'm always engaging and confirming like, oh my gosh, people love my videos. I'm not thinking of what I need to do to get there. I'm just there living that experience, and that experience for me looks like making more content, making engaging content, engaging in the comments with my subscribers, thinking and listening to what people are saying about my content. And it's actually funny because the things that I want to hear that you guys say about my content, about how it helped you and how much you love this video or whatever it is, you guys actually say that in the comments. So it's always confirming what I'm thinking and feeling about myself. And so yes, I'm already living here. I'm not thinking about ways to get from here to here because I am already connected to source. When I realize that I am that I am, that is God saying that they are whatever I think I am. And God is this state and this state. I want you guys to really understand this because when it comes to, let me see if I can get a black marker, that might be better. This is understanding the bridge, and this is understanding how to deal with the current state that you guys are in. So take, for instance, someone who is in lack. So let's just say that this is you here, you're in lack, you're thinking of like, I don't like the state I'm in, I don't like my circumstances, and I really desire to, let's just say you want to make more money in your career or your business or whatever it is. I want to make more money, right? I really want to make more money. I want to, you know, have the clientele I want to have or whatever it is that I want. Okay, yes. So you do the imaginal act and all these things and the affirmations and all those things, and you're here, you're loving the result, you're thinking about it, you're like, oh my gosh, like that feels amazing. What you want to do and what you have to do, you guys, is settle into this. Now, what most people do, and what my subscriber was saying when she was like, how do we control our bridge of incidents? You don't control your bridge of incidents. The thing that messes a lot of people up in getting to their manifestation quick, fast, and in a hurry is thinking that they have to know what's going on right here in between this state and this state to get you there physically from the 3D. You're worried about the 3D down here trying to figure out like, okay, let me look and see what the bridge is, or what it is. And so then you start placing the expectation on, okay, I need to make this product to make more money. I need to get this many clients to make this amount of money. You start messing with all that in here and placing that resistance and trying to create your own bridge instead of resting here internally and doing whatever you feel comes from you being in here. And that might mean you make more content about what it is that you offer, or you're thinking about like how fun it is that you're paying your bills now. You look and you change your perspective of like what you already currently have. But for those people that want to try to figure things out, you're going to say, yes, I want to be here and I see myself and I feel myself here. But then you're still thinking back here of the old, from the old mindset, thinking, okay, like, yes, I feel this, but then you're automatically going back here. So you jump back and forth. You jump back and forth. You're never just staying here and allowing yourself to flow to here. This is how you flow through life. You're going to stay here, and then whatever actions come up from here to here, you're not even going to notice. You might all of a sudden be enjoying your life here and thinking of all the ways that you can spend all the money that you're making now in this new business, and you're living in that. And then all of a sudden someone could watch some of your content and be like, hey, like, can I hop on a private call with you? Do you offer private coaching or whatever it is? Or someone could ask you how you got this mindset. Do you have a guide? Do you have something I can, reference? And then, and that's an ebook for you. Whatever it is will come up on the way. This is not something you need to be looking for. You need to be living from the experience of enjoying your business, enjoying your clients. So let's do it with the SP aspect. You could be looking here like, okay, I want to be with my SP. They're not talking to me right now. Okay, I want to be with them. I'm tired of staying in this reality where they don't love me, they don't care for me. Okay, you're hopping over here. You're hopping over here, and now you're like, okay, of course, I'm already with my SP. You will be over here in your ideal with your inner compass. You're going to sit here in your inner compass, which is your imagination, and you're going to imagine, oh, me and my SP, we're going on date night tonight, and all these things. Like, you're experiencing it already from this perspective inwardly. This is not something that we're talking about you're doing on the outside. Like, what you feel inwardly, they already love me. They're telling me they love me all the time. Like, I really feel loved, cared for, chosen, all this stuff. This is where that self-concept work, that's sitting there in that knowing that this person already loves you. And so you're going to get from here to here very quickly, and this person is just going to show up on this bridge along the way because you're just sitting here in that, being still and knowing that you are God, being still and knowing that you are one with source. And I really want to like bring this home for you guys, because this is one thing I don't think that people realize. There is no difference, no good and bad between this state and this state. So when you are rejecting this state and saying that you don't like your circumstances, you are saying that there's something wrong with the all. There's something wrong with you. You're ultimately saying that there's something wrong with you just because you no longer want to be in this state. But you've created this state, and you created this state. You are the source. You're one with God. I am that I am. God is you and you are God. So you are the creator of this state and the creator of this state. And when you look at this state with contempt and dislike and dissatisfaction, you keep it up. But when you look at this state and this state and see that there's no difference, that there's only love, that there was only a choice that you were choosing, this is where you come closer with source. You come closer with source here, and then you realize that there's neutrality in between this. And that's what makes that indifference. That's what makes every state the same. That's what makes no degree of there's only a degree of difference. Like we talk about the law of polarity. From this state, you can see success or you can see poverty. You can see either one, and one is not better than the other. This is why people can get there so quickly, because they see that they've created this circumstance and say, okay, wow, I created something crazy. I'm a great manifester because I created all these circumstances in my way out of fear and jealousy or whatever statement or the things that you're afraid of. You've created that in your mind, and you could just take that and say, man, like that was a wild creation. But if I can create that, how much more can I create over here with something that I truly want to experience? You have to know that there's no difference. It's the same source that gives you the power to create this, gives you the power to create that. And so when you see that there's no difference in between this state and this state, but where your inner compass is dwelling. So either you're dwelling here or you're dwelling here. They're both God. They're both you. There's no difference in that. But when you feel like you gotta do things to get here, then you are disconnecting yourself from the source, and you are rejecting this part or keeping this part away because you think that you have to be more than what you already are, which is the all, which is the source. There is no difference. That this is not you controlling the bridge. You think that you have to be in control when you are control. When you are the all, when there's nothing that you have to do to get this, but to sit in the state of knowing. That is God power, you guys. It is not hard to be God. This is what I've said this before. It's not hard to be God when you understand that there's no difference between this state and that state, but a degree of difference. The law of polarity, like we talked about many previous times before. But to think that you have control over this bridge and how you get to your end goal, you don't need to be worried about that because you know the way to get there. You are the way to get there. You are the all. You are the path. When you realize that you are the path and that you sit there, and when you sit there, this is what Neville means when he says you do not have to lift a finger. If you're sitting here being still and knowing that you are God, then at this point, whatever you do and whatever aligned actions you do from whenever you're just gonna do it. If you guys have ever looked up and seen something come into your reality, for me, my dream life and even my dream car that came out of nowhere, you guys, I've told the story a million times. That car came out of nowhere, my exact dream car, and there was no way that I could have known that that happened. I was just over here in the experience of me having everything that I've wanted materially by enjoying my life and not moving out of that state no matter what was happening in these circumstances. So the fact that I've neutralized it and seen this state that I no longer wanted to dwell in as a state that I created that with the same love and power and creation as I did with this state, this dissolved very quickly. So the same thing, if you see that you created a circumstance with your finances that you may be like, okay, like I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to pay rent. I don't know how I'm going to do this or that. And you see that you created that state through your thoughts and emotions and the way that you see yourself. And you say, okay, then all I have to do is change my perspective, which changes you and which changes the state and puts you into this new state. And you can look back at this state and see yourself in a different light and see yourself as love and have that compassion. This dissolves. This dissolves, and it doesn't make it easy. It's not as easy to come back to this because you're aware. You're aware of where your power lies in your imagination, dwelling in your imagination, and you're going to flow along that bridge of incidents. See, when you're trying to control all of this in this gray area to get here, you're always going to stay here because that's where you're operating from, the fear of and the resistance. You trying to block out the hurt and the pain, and these are just emotions that are not fact anyway. You're trying to control the emotions in order to get there instead of just being immersed in the experience of living that life. That is the difference. That is the difference, you guys, of knowing that you are already connected to source. Then you will see all of this. You'll see your whole life as the bridge. You'll see whatever was meant for your bad is also meant for your good, depending on the degree that you look at it. It's financial abundance and it's poverty. It's both of them, depending on the way that you look at your circumstance. You guys, it's not one over the other. If I don't have this, then I have this. You cannot look at this as something that's negative compared to this. It is all of it. It's love. All of it is love, you guys. When we think about the scale of consciousness, there's only love at the highest capacity. There's only love. And when you see it as that, you'll see that this is not something that you should be looking at as a state that you dislike because you've created it. So it's this and this, and it's neutral, and you can choose whatever one you want. It's not separate, it's not opposing each other. It's not this is the result of a failure and this is the result of success. All of it is the same. Your degree of attention is what is different. And another thing, it is definitely hard to see yourself as the all and as the source when you are thinking that it's something or someone outside of you that's making it happen. No, you are connected to the all, and it is source that moves through you to get you to where you need to be on that bridge, that brings you and moves you and shifts you. This is why Neville says you do not need to lift a finger to make anything happen on this bridge. If one person, 100 persons, 1,000 people, a million people need to move in order for you to have your assumption in that state where you're dwelling, where you're already experiencing that, people are going to move. Because remember, you guys, remember, this is a movie. Your life is a movie. It's one big ass bridge, one big ass chapter, like one big ass book full of chapters. That's how you have to look at this. You can't look at it as something that you're taking so seriously because you know inwardly that this is a movie, that it's a game. You just have forgotten that you have the choice to choose your next chapter, what that experience will feel like. But how you get there on the bridge is the experience, is life. It is God experiencing itself through you. When you are connected to source, it is you knowing yourself, you guys. This is an experience for you to know who you are, which is I am, which is source. And the more you stop separating yourself, or stop separating this state that you're in that you do not like from the state that you truly want, when you see that there's no difference but the degree of attention you're giving to it, this will all make sense. There's nothing to do. Remember, you guys, there's nothing to do but only to assume where it is that you're dwelling. It is not this or this. Remember, it is this and this. It's just whatever you choose, all right? Remember, there is nothing you need to do on this long ass bridge of life but to live it and to experience what you choose to experience, what you choose to be consciously aware of. And in that, there's so much freedom. There's freedom because you know that you are the source of whatever is going on in your life, the negativity and the strength and the amazing things, the things that you perceive as amazing. There is no difference. It's all love. And when you show yourself that love for creating that, do you know how free you will be? Do you know? All right. But you will know because you watched this video. All right. And you guys, if you watched on my podcast, remember you can find this on the YouTube channel. I will link it below in the description box. But once again, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for being here for this second part of this video. Remember, if you guys have any questions, comments that you want to put down in the chat and you want me to do a little breakdown on it, please do that so we can engage, and that way it will be something for the collective to help us all elevate and help us all get to our manifestations. I really want to do that with you guys because sometimes it's kind of hard me talking from just my own personal experience, but if I can use you guys' experience for us all to have a better understanding, then I feel like this is like our collective, you know, raising each other up, and that's what I really want. All right, so you guys, once again, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Remember, imagination is always on your side, and I am too. Bye.